Police and U.S. Marshals are investigating a video that appears to show one of the remaining escaped inmates who broke out of that New Orleans jail last month. The video, which was posted to Instagram and then later taken down, shows a man identifying himself as Antoine Massey. In the video, the man declares his innocence and then begs for help from the likes of Donald Trump, Lil Wayne, and Meek Mill.
When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all kids to come help. You feel me? I'm asking the world to let y'all know I'm not a reaper, man. I'm not none of that. None of that. I'm a good person. My name is Antoine Massey. I'm asking for help. I was one of the ones that was let out Orleans Parish jail.
Let's not forget the reward has been raised at $50,000 in connection with tips to find and capture this man. One of the things we talked to investigators about is they believe that these two men, Groves and Massey, would not get on the internet and they would be smart enough to sort of avoid a digital footprint. It seems like Massey, who's escaped before, wanted to get his message out there, and he's done that at this point.
So this is really something here. I remember seeing this story jump off in the news that these dudes had escaped in Louisiana, and you see people cracking jokes like, this ain't Prison Break, bro. You ain't Michael Scofield. You don't have Scylla. The company's not gonna, no one's gonna come make a deal with you and things like that. And it's like, in a sense, I don't want to say sad but true, because I don't know the real truth behind this, if all these things that this dude is saying are 100% true. But he does make some good points, and some of these things could be true, right? This woman could have put him behind bars, jealous, and put some false allegations on him and then later tried to walk it back. That happens all the time. That's a fact. At the same time, she could have been coerced into doing that. I don't know. I'm not saying either is actual factual, but what I'm saying is it's not going to end well for this guy. And it's really something to see the semantics that the media outlet is using, and this dude himself. I was let out. He didn't escape. He was let out. Yo, listen, any way you cut it, that's an escape charge. It don't matter if someone lets you out the door. You step out, you've escaped. And just an escape charge alone adds many years, as well as like your custody status. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to just be all the way negative, because again, we don't know the 100% truth about all this. This dude really could be telling the truth about some things, but you left. They're saying, hey, turn yourself in, go through the legal system, fight to clear your name that way. One thing you're not going to be able to clear is this escape charge. That's just the facts of the matter. And he didn't retain a public defender on this case. Like a previous case, he had the public defender's office, and they've come out and said, yo, he didn't retain our services on this one. He fought it alone. So he definitely had some kind of lack of faith in the system with the PDs and all that. And I think everyone can damn near agree what a flucked up system public defenders are. Overworked, underpaid, I don't want to say underqualified. The qualifications is there, but they're often underqualified in the sense of real life experience. There's always one or two good PDs on the payroll in every jurisdiction, but those dudes ain't doing that for long, as they quickly get some kind of promotion or their private practice picks up and they leave the PD work behind first chance they can get. I'm gonna be doing another video too where we cover his statement in full, so there'll be a link to that if you want to go check this out. But yeah, man, this dude is it's like desperation makes people do wild things. And in a sense, if dude is telling the truth about all that, you kind of feel bad for him. But at the end of the day, it's desperation. There's no way you are about to get out and you just see, Trump with, that happened, I think, after these guys escaped with the Larry Hoover and who else? Oh yeah, nbayoungboy, Trump, he's name dropping people. It's just desperation and getting an idea in your head. Like, oh, Trump got active and he did it to Lil Wayne, who he speaks in his statement that he has some kind of connection to Lil Wayne's family where he personally pleads with him. I was the ring bearer in your mom's wedding, man. My pops, look out for me. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if one of these individuals actually step forward and said, yo, I'm going to try to fight to help you or whatever. This guy is done off. He's going to be back behind bars. He's going to be put in a hole where there's no chance that he can escape. And it's just the truth. I'm just keeping it real, man. Bucky Phillips. Comment anyone out there if you remember Bucky Phillips. He was a inmate that escaped, I want to say, what was that, 2006, I believe, in Western New York, or what people would reference as upstate New York. He didn't have that much time left on his bid, although he was on for a parole violation. There's some discrepancies about that the legal system put that out there, as well as the jail, to make him look stupid for escaping, in which he did. But he was on the run for a minute, to the point that they snatched up his daughter's kids, his grandchildren. CPS took him away, trying to smoke out dude, you know, and that did happen in a sense, one way or another. Some law enforcement officers were sniped outside of the daughter's house. They flucked with her every which way they could. Dude was from the reservation, and it was said that he was at a few different reses hiding out and stuff like that. It's an easy way to disappear, but in the end, they tracked this man down, and I was kind of shocked. Not that I wanted to see anyone DIE, but I'm like, yo, there's no way this guy is gonna go in breathing. He had already sniped some police, allegedly. I mean, or else someone else happened to snipe officers right outside of his daughter's crib, and they found him barefoot, skinny, wore down, exhausted. And, you know, to this day, I think he's in a federal facility, which at the time, or maybe he's not, maybe it ain't federal, but he only had some state charges. And as this gentleman in which we're speaking of does, this isn't a Fed case, which a lot of people were pointing out. Trump can't do anything for you, bro. Just like when Boosie, last time around, when Trump was pardoning Harry O and Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, Boosie was talking about, yo, get my bro C Murder up out of custody. And it's a state case. The governor has to intervene. And as dude was pointing out about Louisiana, it's not the type of place the governor is going to get involved. And even when the state did get involved for another rapper who was locked up behind a real suspect case, McKinley Phillips, they ordered for dude to go home after he'd been sitting behind bars forever. It took him almost like a damn year to let him go. And another thing the dude could be telling the truth about is, and as he says, I didn't escape again. I was let out. What's the guy's name? Sterling or whatever, the maintenance man that cut the water off so that the inmates could continue the work they needed, in which they got behind the toilet. Something else we saw in another, what was that New York prison break, the real life story of, that was told in the show Escape from Dannemora, that Ben Stiller was a part of putting together. They had help from the outside, from civilian workers and such. That ish happens all the time. A lot of times it's a female caught up in love with a dude and helps him out, which was the whole Escape at Dannemora thing. But in this situation, this dude, for whatever reason, turned off the water so these dudes could put their work in and get up out of there, and they left that note behind. That's another thing. The powers that be are pissed. They're looking bad right now. You know what I mean? This guy's thinking he can clear his name like Michael Scofield. They're like, you're making us look foolish. Like, there's a possibility this guy could not even make it back to custody in breathing. But as far as for the maintenance worker, he very well may have just been a part of this. And hey, if I get caught up, I'm saying y'all threaten me or whatever. Because just like Antoine Massey was saying here, how in the fluck could they have had him under such pressure when I'm sure he can't come around without COs and deputies being involved? And he's saying, oh, they threatened to shank me. I don't know that I buy that. That's what I'm saying. There's so many things about this, what dude is saying, that's true. Public defender system ain't about ish. Louisiana's got a lot of corrupt ish going on. Women do lie on dudes in those domestic situations all the time. And dudes do it to women when they're mad and hurt and freaking out and feeling desperate, just like this dude's feeling desperate. And he's like, damn, I escaped. What can I do now? And again, I'm shocked he's still on the run. But the semantics of it all, they're saying, we can't verify that it was him. That's him. They don't want to look foolish, and they're trying to sweep all this under the rug and stop and control damage control their image, how silly they're all looking. As it's also been verified that this dude escaped from custody before as a juvenile when he was 13 years old from this juvenile youth study center. Isn't it crazy too, the names that they give these juvenile detention centers, like the study center? What in the fluck is that about? But yeah, man, this is just nothing more than desperation in the system looking bad. And again, some questionable things that, and please don't think that I'm saying he for sure is on point and telling the truth about all this stuff, but we'll just say there's some good points in what he's saying, but you just can't escape and think that you're gonna make this plea to the world and someone's gonna come in and save you. Like, it's over for dude. He may indeed lose his life, and or he may indeed be locked away under confinement for however long that they can do it to him. And there's no way that they're, you know, co-signing that you were let out. Again, even if you're let out, you can't walk up out that door, man. This ain't Prison Break. This ain't Fox River. I'm just trying to keep it all the way real about all this, you know. If all the stuff is indeed true, it's a sad story for dude. If he's lying, you know, it is what it is. But either way, they are not going to take one bit of mercy on this man. And no one, like I said, even if someone did try to step forth and help him, it ain't going to help him. Like, you can't do things this way and expect for a happy ending. So jump in the comments, let's discuss all this. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for updates. And I'm gonna throw another video up where we go over his whole statement in full, man. So it's coffee. I'll get with y'all on the next one. Peace.